only 2-2 and on serve.
The 19 turnovers, that's a big number for the Knicks, 21 points off them. 7 fast break points, don't let that fool you. It was 0 through 3 quarters. They got one early in the fourth quarter. Jalen Johnson got one, and then they got some in garbage time. But really, the majority of this game, the strength of the Hawks, which is transition, that's all they want to do is run. The Knicks, we talked about it in the pregame, right, Wally? Like it's, you got to get back, you got to match up, you can't get lost in transition. That was another part of the focus that this team had, is to take that strength away.
Did they? Is that how they got back in a better fashion? How they do it?
Can't have the live ball turnovers where you're just throwing it all over the map, and then when the Hawks get a live ball turnover, it's like a pick six, goes the other way, easy three-pointer in the corner, an easy dunker, a layup. So the Knicks did a much better job of controlling the tempo, controlling the ball, and I think they did a good job of getting the ball out of Brunson's hands. I think he's got a really tough matchup in this series against Daniels, who he's a liability on the offensive end of the floor because he's such a great defender and he's making Brunson's life so difficult. So let other guys initiate the offense and make things happen, and that takes a lot of trust in Mike Brown to do that at this point in a must-win game, to change a little bit and take the ball out of one of the best point guards and closers in the game and allow other guys to make decisions and make plays, and it worked perfectly, and I think it really caught the Atlanta Hawks off guard.
All right, guys, let us bring in Monica McNutt. She helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York and now joins us from Atlanta. So, Monica, we've been talking about Jalen Brunson, the defense so good on him that in many ways the Knicks had to get the offense going in another way, and Cat did a great job initiating the offense tonight.
A 20-point triple-double? Yes, emphatically. He did a fantastic job of doing that tonight. And it was one play in particular that I felt like they just kept being able to go to the well, and that was the connection with him and OG Anunoby, particularly on that baseline. If it wasn't a basket, it was a foul by the Hawks. And so it was just really effective. I thought today was the perfect response, guys. And we talk about it a lot in the playoffs. It's hard to manufacture urgency. Well, there was no manufacturing tonight because the situation was imminent danger, and I think the Knicks understood that.
Yeah, situation critical is what we like to say around here, and it showed in that first quarter. We've been talking so much about the tone-setting first quarter that you saw from this team, and it felt like it was more of a physical adjustment rather than any type of strategy. Josh Hart said to us it was just simply they just understood what this game was all about. You're in there in the building. Is that what you saw from this team, was just simply a want it more?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it, hon. And I think pregame, Wally asked me what adjustments you could make defensively. And yeah, you could do your best to scheme and bump switch and try not to have this guy guard that guy, but it's still going to happen. So how do you ultimately combat that? With a little bit more effort, more communication. I thought they did a really good job of trying to keep their guys out of difficult spots. We did see the trap defensively. The energy on defense to me was especially notable tonight. And I just thought the effort all around, though, that's the thing that's really important. It wasn't just Josh Hart, who I would give credit for leading the way. But I thought everybody that hit the floor tonight came with a next-level mentality on the defensive side of the basketball, and the three-point shot did fall, but the defense came first.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Monica. And Quinn Snyder's been getting a lot of credit for how he's coaching in this series. I think Coach Mike Brown, Monica, deserves some credit today in some of the adjustments that he made. Don't you think he kind of tweaked some things offensively and defensively that seemed to really key the Knicks' victory?
Yeah, I think so, Wally. And I will admit that he put that lineup out there, I think, early in the first quarter. And I was like, okay, what's happening here? This is a little different. But his willingness to try different things, I think, really benefited this team tonight. And two guys, there obviously was a lot of conversation about whether or not. You want to talk? They can't hear you. Just say, what do you have?
Hey, guys.
Okay, all right, well.
Come support Game 5.
Definitely do that. Anyway, the mood is joyous. I will say, though, I lost my train of thought.
Adjustments.
I forget.
The coaching adjustments, Monica.
The adjustments, right. So, thank you, guys. So the rotation change in the first quarter, I was like, okay, this is quizzical. But I think as much as we've talked about Mikal Bridges, right, I thought he did a great job of starting this game. I could see where his teammates were taking it on themselves to help him stay engaged and involved. And even in the little moments of competition with the extra chatter tonight, I thought what you saw when it came to both the adjustments and the intensity was a group that played for each other tonight, right?
Yes.
Everybody came in, maximized their role, and covered their teammates back. Literally, in the defensive defensive case and the defensive example, but also just in terms of the energy of tonight's contest. So it was really, really fun to be a part of and watch.
All right, Monica, travel safely back here to New York. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night prior to game number 5.
Sounds good.
Kel Bridges, by the way, 8 points tonight. Only played 20 minutes, but did score 8 points. Post-game comments from the winning coach, Mike Brown's assessment of tonight's effort.
One of the things, of course, you needed to see in a game like this to even up this series. But we do want to show you some things that happened on offense that really looked good, including, of course, the connection between Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. He threw him 11 passes, and it felt like every single one of them ended up in an assist.
Yeah, this is just really good offense and taking the pressure off Jalen Brunson. Look, Brunson's way out at half court. This is what I was talking about. Daniels out on him. The double team comes here. Get the ball out of his hands. Karl-Anthony Towns can do a lot more with the ball. Frees it there. Puts pressure on the defense. Does a good job of using his big body. OG Anunoby, just a simple curl cut. Could have been a handoff. Puts this defender in a really tough position. What's he going to do? Is he going to back off and allow Towns to shoot a 3? Or is he going to come back and try to help out OG Anunoby? This is two-man game that splits. This is what Mike Brown talks about, that you can put a defense in a really tough position. Now McCollum's got to come over and help. He gets there late. Anunoby, easy dunk. I mean, the amount of easy baskets that the Knicks offense generated in a playoff game, I mean, that is impressive stuff. That is just accumulation of trusting the whole entire season, developing trust in your actions and your offense and your plays and your continuity. And the Knicks really maximized it tonight when they really needed it most in a must-win game.
50 points in the paint in this game, and that's a big stat for sure. How about passing the basketball around, finding that open shot? 23 assists. This was beautiful passing. It felt like everybody touched the ball in this possession.
And this is how you have to beat a long, athletic Hawks team. You can't always beat them off the dribble because they're long, they're versatile, they cover a lot of ground with their wingspan. But if you move the ball like this, look at this. Open 3 for Cat. Freeze it there. There's Josh Hart cutting to the basket. Always moving, always open, and Cat looking to pass. If they come in and help, this is scramble mode. This is what you want to do. Spray it out. Josh Hart out to OG Anunoby. Anunoby can take this shot if he wants that shot. That's his shot. Corner 3, although here comes Okongwu. Get Brunson a wide open one for once. I mean, the poor guy's dealing with Dyson Daniels hanging all over him all game long. This is a great pass by Anunoby. And Brunson knocked down his open ones, Alan. You made it a point to say it's important when he gets open looks to take advantage and knock them down because he has to force up such tough shots against the defense. But when he got his open ones, he cashed in and nailed them.
Yeah, 3 for 7 from downtown for Jalen Brunson after going 0 for 5 in Game 3. Let's hear from Knicks head coach Mike Brown. His thoughts now, presented by Chase.
You guys came out and did a nice job. You know, we talk about physicality, you know, on both ends of the floor, and I thought our guys did a nice job with that. You know, one of the things Atlanta likes to do, they like to get out in transition, and we did a pretty good job in defensive transition. You know, to hold a team like that to 7 fast break points is really good. But, you know, offensively, you know, in the second half we had five second half turnovers, and that was big because they're a team that turns you over. And when they turn you over, they get out in transition. So taking care of the ball is good. Offensively as well, you know, we talk about hitting the paint and spraying the basketball. And our guys were good. I mean, they had 16 sprays. That's the most we've had so far in these 4 games. And so we were able to get some, you know, some good looks from the three-point line. And we got to keep making sure that when we do touch the paint, you know, we play off a 2 and we either finish or we play off a 2 and spray the ball the right way. And sometimes that may create a second drive for us. And then, you know, one of the things that we track are the 50-50 balls, and that gives us a barometer at times of how into the game we are. And, you know, we won the 50-50 ball battle 11-19. So good win by our guys tonight.
Mike, I know when you came to this job, you wanted your team to play faster, and I know that didn't necessarily play out how you wanted, but it felt like in this game, There was a little bit more oomph in the open floor. It felt like the half-court offense was even a little bit quicker decision. Did you like what you saw just in terms of the pace you guys played with in that first half specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we have to play faster. You know, we still have to play faster, not just in the full court, but in the front court as well. You know, it's a big concept of ours offensively. So our pace has to be there, but it was pretty good tonight.
Mike, was the adjustment today to make a concerted effort, to run offense through Cat as that playmaker? Obviously, he had a triple-double today. He was at the top of the key, finding guys on cuts. Just what did you see from that? And was that the lever that I guess you pulled for the game?
Yeah, you know, just trying to find different ways to get Cat the ball. And, you know, obviously one of the ways is playing through the elbow. He had a couple of post-ups. And so trying to move him around, whether he's at the top of the floor, at the elbow, or on the block, but trying to move him around so he can get a few more touches throughout the course of the game.
Mike, I think you mentioned physicality right away.
Yeah.
I think Josh in the second quarter just kind of ripped the ball from guys a couple times. Kind of what you saw, his effort in that quarter to kind of, as you guys opened things up.
Yeah, Josh was really good on the ball. He's got quick feet. He's strong. And when he gets locked in, he's locked in. And, you know, his defensive activity, especially when it comes to ball pressure, was fabulous tonight. You know, he was really, really, really good on the ball, and we needed every ounce of it.
When Mike, when Jalen struggles with his shot and turns the ball over a little bit, how positive is it, to have two guys like Cat and OG to kind of handle some of the scoring load and pick up some of that load?
You know, it's at the end of the day, it's why it's a team game. Sometimes guys like him can struggle, but the one thing that he continued to do, they got to pay attention to him. They sent double teams at him, which gave other guys wide open looks. And, he set good screens. So he's no matter who it is, if Cat's struggling, he's got to find other ways to help us win. If Jalen's struggling to shoot it, he's got to find other ways to help us win. If OG's struggling to shoot it or not getting enough touches, Mikal, whoever it is, they just got to keep trying to find different ways to help us win. And like I said, Jalen did. He created double teams, which and a couple of them got some wide open looks. If they want to keep doubling, we got to make sure we knock the shot down. He set great screens. So we got to keep doing those little things when we're not shooting the ball, at the highest level, and Jalen did that tonight.
Hey, Mike, what did you think of Josh's defense on CJ, and also kind of what led into that switch coming into this game?
I mean, he didn't guard. Josh guarded Jalen Johnson some too. So we just wanted to move Josh around. But Josh is, his ball pressure is good. Like I said, he's strong. He's got pretty good feet. He's got long arms, and he locks into the ball, and so he's able to get some deflections without fouling because of his long arms. And CJ's a handful. So we just got to keep trying to find ways to show him different looks, which means different guys have to guard him at different times.
Mike, you mentioned the 7 fast break points allowed until like 43 minutes into the game when Dyson had that layup. It was at 0, so yeah. Basically all in garbage time. What allowed you guys specifically to be so effective defending in transition?
In that locker room, we didn't change anything, and with our defensive transition, our rules are still the same. We just got back, and in the second half, also what helps out is when you have some bad turnovers, that team really thrives off of them, and they get out and they run, and our turnovers, were decent turnovers, and then we only had 5 in the second half, so that helped limit their transition.
What do you mean by decent turnovers?
So if I'm dribbling the ball on the right wing and I see Ian over there, right, and I throw it here, and they jump the passing lane, nobody can get back. Does that make sense? The guy that they're going to leave open, and he works very hard on his three-point shooting, and he took the right shots tonight, and then defensively, he tried to be a pest. And so, what he did out on the floor for us gave us a huge lift, especially when Jalen.
It's got to help when you're sitting there early and you're seeing the way the team came out. The starters came out with a lot of intensity and aggression.
Yeah. I mean, it's a desperate game for us. We had to come out like that, and we did what we were supposed to do, but we got to get ready for game 5.
What is it like when you're sitting on the bench, you see what Cat's doing?
Amazing. Great, you know. No surprise, but you got to come like that every game, which you will.
The bench, big part of this game. Just talk about your mindset getting in the game there.
Just change the game, you know, muck it up, get the guys going, and do all the little things, you know. We do all the little things, we be fine. You know we could score at a high level. We just trying to figure out the little things to do the best way.
For a New York guy to see the New York response from the fans in the building, what was that like tonight?
No surprise. Been seeing it for my whole life, so it's dope to be a part of it.
How much does this now help, you know, the cause and the confidence going back for Game 5?
I mean, you know, it's still with us. You know, stay locked in, and like you said, it was a must-win for us, and now we gotta go back home and do what we need to do.
All right, guys, tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Alvarado didn't play at all in Game 1, but he had his fingerprints all over tonight's.
Bring a little bravado, Wally, to the game like that. Like, you're not going to punk us, right? Like, just some attitude.
And I think you need his playmaking because
ball handling, right, Wally? That second unit.
Jalen Brunson's getting double teamed. He's struggling dealing with Dyson Daniels. So you need other guys that can play make, facilitate the offense, make a play for their teammates. And that's why I think he's gotten these key minutes in this series. I think it's been a good adjustment with the rotation, with how this coaching staff has realized we need a guy that can run the offense, that can run the team, because Jalen Brunson can't at times. He's just dealing with too much length, too much athleticism. So Alvarado has been like, I'm ready to go. You know you're going to get the defensive effort from him. He didn't hesitate, knocked down a couple huge threes, but I really think it was key because of his ability to run the team, and the Knicks really need a playmaker out there at times because Jalen Brunson is being taken out of that role on this team.
And Deuce McBride's strength is not handling the ball.
His strength is making shots.
Right.
Which he did in this game, too. But with Alvarado, too, knocking down 2 threes, that's a bonus, right? You know, you're getting the intensity of the defense, the ability to bring the ball up the floor. But when he's also knocking down threes that he's going to get open looks on, I mean, that's exactly what he needs to do, because if you're going to leave him open, he's got to make you pay. He did tonight.
Great efforts up and down the Knicks lineup tonight. Up next, we got the MSG 150. We got LeBron James and the Lakers rolling.
This is
and much more, including OKC's dominating win next. The quarter 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Karl Anthony Towns, first career playoff triple-double, and OG had 22 and 10 each now at the podium.
Experience teaches you a lot. I mean, just because we won one game, you know, playoffs is always you win a game, you're the best team in the world, highs are highs, and then when you lose, you're the low and the worst team ever. So just staying on the wave, being in that middle ground, and just consistently trying to find ways to get better and improve as the series goes along. You know, next game is going to be the most important game, the most desperation we need to present to the fans and to ourselves. And it's going to be important for us to protect home court, especially with our fans in our home.
Kat, speaking of the fans, could you feel the Knicks fans tonight? The atmosphere?
Knicks fans travel all around the world. You know, it's even more special. I already knew how special the Knicks fans were from last year, but to be going to Abu Dhabi in preseason and see the stadium packed with Knicks fans is crazy. So they travel around the world. They bring us so much love and energy and just passion that you could just feel that kind of passion in the building, and it helps us feel like every game we play, no matter if it's away or in Abu Dhabi, around the world, it's a home game.
One question for each of y'all, starting with OG. Just first, what did you like about the team's response after those 2 tough losses that you guys came off of?
Just our intensity. You know, we came out, we were physical from the start. We got stops and then ran on offense, moved the ball. Guys were hitting shots, and it's just the energy. It was really infectious.
And then, Kat, just with all the assists, I'm wondering what's the feeling for you when you're able to find somebody with one of those passes and they're able to convert, and then you start to look up and you see the assist count going 1, 2, 4, 6, 10.
I mean, I don't know if I was looking up for that, but you know, just to see my teammates being special and to be able to get them involved is something I truly enjoy, even more than hitting a shot. Just to see people like OG consistently making the right read on the cut, the back door, whatever the case may be against the defense, and doing something special is, you know, it brings me joy and it brings me the most energy back.
Team's aggressiveness right from the start tonight, the way you guys came out?
Yeah, just aggressive. Just opposing our will on the other team and concentrating on what we wanted to do. And that's all the little details. Boxing out, trying to stop them in transition and play our game.
I don't think they had a fast break point until late in the fourth quarter. That says a lot right there.
Yeah, we just got to continue to making steps in the right direction and take care of business at home. And that's the next game, so that's the most important.
What's it like to see the way Cat played tonight? What does it do for the overall confidence of the team?
It's really good. He's had a great series. He's continued to bring a lot of looks for us. Continue to be aggressive when he goes to the rim, shooting the three. We asked him to do a lot defensively as well. He's protecting the rim. He's just doing a really good job. So just take it up another notch, and we know they're going to come back and try to punch us in the mouth when we're at the crib. So we got to be ready.
And finally, the bench, just the way you guys supported. You know, when you guys needed a rest, you came in and kept the heat on them.
Just bringing energy. That's what we need to do as a bench group. Keep an impact in the game.
Obviously, there was a sense of urgency there, down 2-1 and giving away 2 games that we should have won. So we had that sense of urgency, from the jump, and now we have to be ready to have that sense of urgency from the jump in Game 5.
Josh, you just talk about the bench and the way they contributed to it.
Yeah, 100%. They gave us, obviously, good points and all that, but they gave us great energy. They gave us great activity, offensively, defensively, digging in and taking the challenge. So they were huge for us today. And like I said, we got to not be satisfied with this, but continue to build off of it.
What does it mean mentally and your confidence-wise when Cat comes out and plays the way he did?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can take over a game. And, we have to make sure that we do a great job of finding him when he's open. He's a hub. He's a guy that can score the ball but also pass the ball and find guys when they're open. So we have to continue to do that.
It looked like early on you guys just went to the paint. You guys decided to go inside.
Man, we played the game how the game showed us to be played.
Josh, how encouraging is it for this to be the response to adversity for you guys?
I don't think anything encouraging about it. I think it was just reinforced the kind of guys that we have in this locker room. We've put ourselves in this position. And I know, like the character that we have, we were ready to answer back today, and like I said, be ready to build off of it for Game 5.
Far for the Knicks for what he's been able to bring at both ends of the floor and on the boards. And you've got to look at not just the shooting, 56% now through 4 games. He's shooting 11 for 21 from downtown. Like, he is locked in right now with his 3-point shooting. Another game today, 3 for 6. When you're getting that kind of production out of him, and the defense and rebounding too.
Well, that's what the Hawks are daring the Knicks to beat them.
With other people.
They're taking Jalen out of the game, and they're making Towns and OG beat them, and they beat them soundly tonight.
Yes.
So they're going to have to be ready to do the same thing on Game 5. And I love the way this team is talking. It's a 2-2 series right now. It's on serve. This thing is still a 3-game series. This isn't over.
Right.
So the Knicks have to continue to play at this high urgency, high level, and utilize OG and Towns at a high rate, because Atlanta's probably going to continue to dare everyone else to beat them because they don't want Brunson to beat them.
Boy, you feel good, though, coming back to Madison Square Garden to play this Game 5. Absolutely.
Huge.
Tuesday night, Game 5. Game 6 is Thursday, if necessary, Game 7. Welcome back, everyone. Jalen Brunson tonight, 19 points, now 3rd all-time in Knicks history in playoff points scored, and this is, of course, only his 4th playoffs. 13:59, one more than Willis Reed. And here is Brunson after the game.
I like the way we responded. Very pleased.
What did you make of the way Cat was moving the ball, 10 assists? He looked like it was just in a rhythm, finding guys from the top of the key.
Yeah, he was doing a great job. Just playing off of him, and he was being great decision-making and all that, and really put us in a position to win. And he helped create that lead with his play, and this is a big-time performance from him.
Miles was talking about yesterday, backs against the wall, come out with more intensity, don't leave anything out there. Did you feel that early on, that you guys had raised the intensity level?
Yes.
And how did you feel? How did that play out on the court?
I think for the most part, we understand what they're capable of. They're a very good team, very well coached. They do a lot of the little things, and they're very detail oriented, you can tell. And so for us, we just had to up everything we had to do. I think the way we fought back in Game 3 was helped us for this game. Obviously, we didn't win Game 3, but I think the way we played in that second half as a team propelled us to play the way we did tonight. We just got to continue to push that forward.
What do you think you saw from today, from Josh's physicality, defense, whether it was CJ or Jalen he was on?
Yeah, he does what's asked of him 9.5 times out of 10. And, I mean, we can joke around and say all the things I say about him, but there's one thing that he's going to do. He's going to go out there and compete, and he'll do that night in and night out.
Hart's defensive intensity key tonight.